To me, risk is the will to act on imagination. You see a better way, you imagine a creative solution to something. Risk is the action you're going to take against that. You have to take it. You see this possible new future. Don't you have to take a risk on trying it? Companies struggle with change because change is hard, because they're afraid. I think we don't talk enough about the fear that comes with work. There's a fear in not knowing the answer. How many companies want to stand up to their investors and say, I do not know? There are times when you know the answer and times when you don't. I think we need to kind of take that on, to say we're afraid of taking risks, we're afraid of going into something we don't know the answer, we're afraid of failing. And those things have to happen. You don't have to do them on a monumental scale. You can do them in a small way that builds confidence, that gets you on a path of more certainty, a little bit more clarity. Then you can invest more and put more energy against it. So diversity and inclusion is a critical business competitive edge. Too many people talking about it and not enough people doing it. Why is it so critical? What are people missing who aren't doing it well? They're missing that it unlocks innovation. It unlocks a better way forward. I think what happens in companies, well-meaning companies, is we tend to hire people like us. We tend to hire people who think like us, look like us, act like us. The real challenge in companies is, can we find people who are different from us, who bring a different perspective, a different point of view, a different set of experiences. Experience tells me, and I think research would bear it out, that the more difference you have, the better you're able to solve a problem, the better able you are to connect with your customers who represent different points of view. So the advice I'd have for emerging leaders, especially women leaders in the tech space, is go with what is really uniquely your base of strength. Don't try to be like other people. I think as women, we are perhaps more networked. We are able to make connections in a different way. Use that to your strength. It's a networked world. Our workforces are much more distributed. I think any kind of ability to use that perspective of difference to make you more open and empathetic is going to serve you well. How do you balance the data, the engineering, and the brand? I think that's the challenge of most companies these days. I often like the idea of making the invisible visible. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the outcome you're trying to get out of it? Don't just impress me with the fancy technology that you've made. Tell me why you're doing it. What impact do you expect to have by doing this? Don't just say we're going to make the world a better place. Everybody says that. How? Why? Why should I believe you? Why is your technology going to make you more able to do that than the next person? I think that's the kind of storytelling that brands need to unlock. So to me, I like to think of imagination as creative problem solving. And I worry in our companies today that we actually have a gap of imagination, where everybody wants to know the answer, they want certainty, they want only more data to tell them what to do. But we need to fail to learn. You're not going to get it right the first time. And if you do get it right the first time, you're lucky. Maybe you're not trying hard enough. You're not pushing yourself to something that's really going to get you to a new place. And I think we need to recast failure as learning. We need forgiveness in our workplace and in our investment markets. And that's not a word you hear often when you're talking about business.